as you walk into these patients' rooms and think, how can I assist this patient today? I say it often that compassion goes a long way. Good morning. I am frantically trying to, well, that's not really toasted, but it's hot. I'm gonna have an English muffin. I got up plenty early, like an hour and a half ago or something. I am teaching a college class in Canada today, and it starts in 12 minutes. But I need to take my pills. I need to eat so I can take my pills. And where's the butter? Here it is. So I'm gonna whip up a English muffin, butter, and homemade peach jam that my mom gave me. And then I already set the computer up, but Harry and I were having some snugs and I was just like, I don't want to put him down yet. So I didn't, but now I'm kind of trying to eat really fast. So I will inhale this English muffin and then I will be ready.
Good morning, guys. Ollie and I just got back from our walk.
Any danger noodles?
No danger noodles. Not last night or this morning, so I think we're in good shape.
Phew! I think this is my third year in a row that I'm teaching this recreational therapy, which is something that I wasn't familiar with before 3 years ago when I taught this class for the first time. But oh yeah, third year in a row, and I think it's hysterical that I was way more nervous for teaching the homeschool like CF lesson. The kids were, you know, like 4 to 11 years old or something like that. And I was way more nervous for that than I am for teaching this. I forget if it's college or post-grad, but either way. So I'm getting ready. I have 8 minutes. Wow, I did it. I'm sitting here and I have my computer ready. I even have it charging, plugged in. I feel like I'm on top of the world. I even remembered in time to turn off my notifications on my computer. Do not disturb on. Awesome. Okay. Close that tab. Get all my burps out before I start. Excuse me. Also, I think I just remembered, yep, Peter just brewed a cup of coffee because he got back from his walk, and he usually likes to have a second cup when he gets back from the walk. And he just took a call, so he's upstairs now. So I'm gonna whip this up. I think I have 6 minutes, plenty of time. Let me make this and take this to him. Half and half. Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever bought flavored creamer like this. I ordered this one from Aldi. It's pumpkin spice, and it's sweet, so you don't have to add sugar to your coffee, which is kind of nice, but ultimately we like to just have plain half and half. So I won't buy this again, but it was fun to have. But I just used plain half and half for Peter's coffee. Okay. Let's go find him. I don't know if he's on the porch or upstairs. Delivery. Oh yeah, here he is. Okay, I'm gonna take this out and give it to Peter while he's on the phone.
Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm just keeping an eye on her. Oh, Mary is here.
Okay, wait, there we go.
Yeah, there you are.
Is it it working? All right, I'll just start. Here's my life. So I was born into a family that already knew about cystic fibrosis because my older sister has CF as well. We know that CF is a genetic disease that affects many parts of the body, but we think of it primarily as a lung disease, right? I was diagnosed at 7 weeks old because they kind of already knew I had CF. My mom and dad kissed me and they realized I was salty. And so they knew right away, that's like telltale sign, you've got a salty baby. So I was 11 when I started IVs for the first time, and I only needed them about once a year. 11 years old, 12 years old, once a year, 13. And then into high school, I was needing them maybe twice a year. Going into college, I was needing IVs more frequently, maybe 3 times a year. And that's kind of, that progression you're hearing is pretty typical for a CF patient. I will probably say this more than once, no 2 CF patients are alike. The infection differs, the way their body reacts to the infection differs, the treatments that work, the treatments that don't work, the allergic reactions to certain medications, no 2 CF patients are alike. So even between my sister and I, the antibiotics that worked for her didn't work for me. The antibiotics that she was allergic to, I wasn't, or whatever, you know, there's differing symptoms, differing, the outworking of CF looks very different in each patient. And so we have to get creative and kind of think outside the box. And as I got older and was needing antibiotics more frequently, we were seeing reactions to these antibiotics and had to get creative, think outside the box. Let's try these 2 antibiotics together. So when you're compounding all of those treatments, it's going to take a hit on the rest of the body. So then my bone marrow is experiencing some suppression. And so as a medical personnel, you're going to walk into the room or walk into the home of patients and you see one diagnosis on the paper, but you automatically think outside the box and think this patient doesn't just have CF lung issues going on. These patients have CF lung issues on intense antibiotics, having blazing diarrhea, having all of these reactions, feeling itchy from the IVs, feeling so much nausea, having terrible headaches, having reactionary fevers to the drugs. I mean, just, you know, like it runs the gamut of all the different options for complications. And so as you walk into these patients' rooms and think, how can I assist this patient today? I say it often that compassion goes a long way. And I know that the medical person who's coming in the room can't fix all of what's happening. I know that my body needs to be on these intense antibiotics. I know that they can't wave their magic wand and fix all the side effects, but compassion means so much. And so if you walk in and say, hey, how's your day been going? And they like are kind of either kind of cold to you or say something like, it's been bad, or something like kind of rude, just thinking and keeping in mind, like saying, that must be really hard. And I can only imagine how you just want to sleep right now. And I'm sorry that I have to kind of push you out the bed and, you know, really just compassion. And really never ever saying, I know how you feel, because we don't know how that patient feels. Even as a CF patient, I haven't experienced everything that person has or that person has. And so saying, oh, I can only imagine how hard that is, and just kind of validating. I feel that validating is a huge way to earn trust pretty quickly. And offering just a couple of sentences of like, oh man, I wish that there was some magical pill I could give you to make you feel better. And I'm sorry that you have to go through all of these really unpleasant steps. for the sake of your body. And so let's try to work together and make this as fun and or as least torturous as possible. So here we go. And so as we think about CF patients and these unique challenges, like, yeah, decreased lung function, but it's still good for us to get up and exercise or be active. That's good for us, but it's really hard. It's really hard to feel super out of breath and push through that and continue. And sometimes there's this, I mean, there's always this balance of it's good to push myself, but there's also a time that I need to be able to determine and discern in my body when it's time to just take a break. And I think one of the things you'll find with CF patients is that we can push. We can push ourselves. We are used to pushing ourselves every day. And so I have found when I'm in the hospital with my physical therapist and they take me down to the gym once a day, I will push myself to a point where it's not healthy, and I don't know where that line is. There's the job of the therapist to really give the patient permission, like, hey, you did a really good job. Your body's working really, really hard right now, so let's just take a break. And one of the things that is really challenging for me, now, I will acknowledge, I've been told by therapists, by nurses, by doctors in the hospital that I'm apparently a unique patient in that I see the importance of what I'm doing when I'm in the hospital. I call it boot camp because I know that I'm going to put in so much work. And I want to do that for my body so that when I get out, or whenever I can recover from this exacerbation, I know that I put in my hardest efforts. So I am aware that many patients, or there's a population of patients who don't care at all. They don't want to do the therapy. They don't want to do the treatments. And so keeping that in mind, not every patient is going to be as proactive as I am. And so you got to get creative in that way. And I truly don't, I don't know how to motivate an unmotivated patient, except that I do think the validation goes a long way. If you walk in and the person like turns the other way and like doesn't want to talk to you, I'm thinking sometimes there's just nothing you can do. And I've heard that from my physical therapist in the hospital. Some patients, they come in to do chest PT, and some patients are like, no, I'm not doing it. And there's nothing you can do. If the patient refuses, the patient refuses. But again, like I said, like validating that person, like, hey, I don't know what happened at the beginning of your day, but if it was a hard day, just know, like, I'm gonna do my best during this time to like cheer you on and be a support. Like, I view you as a person. You're not just a patient, you're a person. Like that sort of thing, I think could turn that patient's day around. Oh, that was awesome. So great. All right, well, now the battery's flashing, so I'm gonna switch the battery. Okay, lunchtime, leftover soup and
Shepherd's pie, or whatever you call it.
Look who just came for a visit. And as he was walking up to me, he thinks his spine doesn't work when he's wearing a little shirt. And so he's sort of getting used to it. I think it's good for him to get used to. I also know that he went 7 years refusing to wear a sweater before we got him. And so I know for a fact that he can stay warm enough without a sweater, but I think it's cute and good for him. Maybe sometimes, I don't know, what if the heat goes out or something and he has to wear a sweater? Anyway, he's getting a little bit used to it, but his spine still doesn't work that good. He thinks, so he thinks.
Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this little day in our life, and
as always,
we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Don't you think we
Baba now you here.
Good night, Ollie boy.
Oh my goodness, you gotta go show Harry.
And good night, too. Oh, is that fire so nice?